Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and this is Regular Guy Training. Today, we're actually going to talk about something that's it's a little weird because at first glance, when people start talking about Glock putting out an OEM magazine, well, you know, it hit me weird. I did not think it was something that they would actually do, and I didn't think it would be very concealable because generally speaking, a lot of times Glock talks to people that are doing competitive stuff, and I definitely didn't think it was going to be easy to install, but mostly that's what got done here. Now, this is an OEM. This is on a Gen 5 gun with the original cutout in the front end. But what's kind of wild about these things is that they install same as like those stupid little Glock plugs that plug in the back end, that little open spot, right? They basically go in the same way. You form the magazine well over the pistol grip itself, and then you just kind of snap that guy into place. You can see where that tab just kind of locked in there, and done, right? Now, that's its only real contact point. The rest of the magazine well is just kind of shrouded over the pistol grip itself, and the first question that most people are going to ask is, well, does that have any flex on the front end if, like, your hand goes into it or whatever? If you sit here and pull on it, it actually does move a little bit. But then again, I mean, if you try that with like a mag pull, which does move a little bit, or like a Zev, which moves a little more, it's about the same. So what's kind of wild about it is that, first thing that I thought about is, how fucking concealable is this? And of course, if I fucking really yank on the shirt and on the waistline, right, it's gonna highlight itself a little bit, but so does the rest of this, right? Same for my belt. But just like regular t-shirt stuff, it conceals itself pretty good. So, I mean, as far as its ability to hide and its ability to be functional, I'm actually pretty impressed because it's easy to install. You guys saw enough shoot footage. It's pretty easy to actually get the job done with it. You can fuck up like anything else, especially on older Gen 5 guns where that toe is still kind of cut out there. You can get stuck, right? But for a lot of the other Gen 5 guns that have come out, especially, like the 45 and the 19X and guns like that, this doesn't have a compatibility issue, and that toe isn't cut open in the first place, right? So you can just sort of insert that guy, no problem. Now, guys that have the 19X and you're like, oh, I have the lanyard loop, you can pull that guy out of there because it's set in the same way that the plug is. So just boop, boop, and it's out. But that said, I mean, it's pretty dope, honestly. As far as just aftermarket stuff that's out there, this sort of kind of kills that competition, which I'm assuming is just the aim, right? For those of you that prefer the Magpul magazine well for Glocks over this, I thoroughly understand that because it does have a tighter profile, which some of you may actually need, right? But I mean, I've been my size forever, okay? And I've been able to conceal larger guns just for whatever reason. I've never had a chest to drape a shirt over, right, to where it gives you a little bit of extra room. So I've been pretty flat on my torso like my whole life, right? And it's still pretty easy to hide guns. And for some reason, I thought that this was going to be very loud, that it was going to print really tight, but it just didn't really. I mean, it just kind of does whatever it needs to. Now, granted, I train with my t-shirts a lot, and obviously, like some of you guys saw in the shoot footage, me getting caught on the shirt, that's how that happens, but, it hides, it's functional, it's very easy to install, pretty cheap, too. That's about as much of a fucking, and once it's installed, it's a non-event after that. You're just a little bit faster, nothing special, it's boring, which is about as big of a friggin' compliment as I can give a piece of equipment. It helps you, doesn't hurt you. After that, it's just in the background. I call it good. So if there's something that I would recommend to guys that can hide their guns pretty well with it, yeah, absolutely, I would try this out. For guys that are trying to that don't want to conceal it, but then think about their functionality as far as can I use this in competition? Obviously, you really can. I mean, you guys saw me do reloads off a belt. It was nothing, So I think it actually does really well. For those of you that are wondering, I am giving this another shot because they sent me the new part, right? Because for those of you that saw that last review, I said that they were going to send me the new part, so I'm giving this another shot. So far, so good. We'll see what happens, right? But I mean, really, that's it. That's all I really got on it. It's a good piece of kit. So, that said, if you guys want to come out and train with us, you absolutely can. More classes are being added to the schedule because I have the new year's military schedule, so I'm going to just start throwing stuff on the calendar now. For those of you that want to check us out and support us through Patreon, you absolutely can. It really does help me do this nonsense. You know, every cent that comes our way helps with more abusive equipment. You know, it helps out with soldiers that we fund to go out and get trained with our training in general, right? So it helps out a lot just in general with everything that we're doing with this channel and things going forward. And for those of you that want to go ahead and get something out of it as well, $41 a month gets you as much training as you want with us. Also, if you guys want to check us out on Facebook, link in the description below. And that's really all I have. So, with that said, regular guy's firearm is the last defense against tyranny. Be easy.
Stand by. One 2-7, 169, 296 overall. Stand by. Stand by. Stand by. Stand by.